The conflict between Israel and Iran is one of the most complex and influential rivalries in modern geopolitics. It is not a traditional war fought on a single battlefield, but rather a multifaceted struggle involving ideology, military strategy, regional alliances, covert operations, cyber warfare, and proxy conflicts across the Middle East. Over the past several decades, tensions between these two powerful regional actors have steadily increased, shaping political and security dynamics throughout the region. Today we will talk about the Israel-Iran conflict explained in 8 minutes. So, before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. The early relationship between Israel and Iran. Interestingly, Iran and Israel were not always enemies. Before 1979, the two countries actually maintained relatively cooperative relations. During the rule of Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, Iran recognized Israel and maintained economic and intelligence cooperation with it. Both countries shared strategic concerns about Arab nationalism and regional instability, which created opportunities for quiet collaboration. Iran provided oil to Israel, and Israeli companies were involved in various development projects in Iran. Intelligence agencies from both countries also cooperated in monitoring regional threats. At that time, Iran was one of the few Muslim-majority countries that maintained unofficial ties with Israel. However, this relationship changed dramatically after the Iranian Revolution of 1979, when the Shah was overthrown and an Islamic government led by Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini came to power. The impact of the 1979 Iranian Revolution. The Islamic Revolution fundamentally reshaped Iran's foreign policy and its relationship with Israel. The new Iranian leadership adopted a strong ideological stance against Israel, viewing it as an illegitimate state and a symbol of Western influence in the Middle East. Iran's government began referring to Israel as the Zionist regime and openly supported movements that opposed Israeli policies. The Iranian leadership framed the Palestinian cause as a central element of its foreign policy and sought to position itself as a champion of resistance against Israel. Israel, in turn, began to view Iran as one of its most dangerous adversaries. Israeli leaders became increasingly concerned about Iran's revolutionary ideology and its growing influence across the region. Ideological differences and political rivalry. One of the core reasons behind the ongoing tension between Israel and Iran is the ideological divide between the two states. Israel is a democratic state with strong ties to Western countries, particularly the United States and European allies. Iran, on the other hand, is an Islamic republic with a political system that combines religious leadership with elected institutions. Iran's leadership often frames its opposition to Israel as part of a broader struggle against Western influence and what it perceives as injustice toward Palestinians. Israeli leaders, meanwhile, interpret Iran's rhetoric and actions as evidence of a strategic threat to Israel's security and existence. This ideological rivalry has created deep mistrust between the two countries, making diplomatic reconciliation extremely difficult. The rise of proxy warfare. Although Israel and Iran rarely confront each other directly, their rivalry plays out across several countries in the Middle East through proxy forces. Proxy warfare allows states to influence conflicts indirectly by supporting allied groups rather than deploying their own armies. One of the most significant examples of this strategy is Iran's support for Hezbollah in Lebanon. Hezbollah has grown into a powerful political and military organization with a large arsenal of rockets and missiles capable of reaching deep into Israeli territory. Iran provides Hezbollah with funding, weapons, and training, making the group a key component of Iran's regional strategy. Similarly, Iran has cultivated relationships with various militia groups in Iraq and has provided support to allied forces in Syria during the Syrian civil war. In Yemen, the Houthi movement has also been linked to Iranian support. Israel views these alliances as a major security threat and frequently targets Iranian-linked military infrastructure in Syria and other locations. The nuclear issue. One of the most serious points of tension between Israel and Iran revolves around Iran's nuclear program. Iran insists that its nuclear activities are intended for peaceful purposes, such as energy production and scientific research. However, Israel and several Western countries suspect that Iran may be pursuing nuclear weapons capabilities. For Israel, the prospect of a nuclear-armed Iran represents a potentially existential threat. Israeli leaders argue that such a development could dramatically shift the balance of power in the Middle East and increase the risk of catastrophic conflict. International negotiations led to the creation of the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA, in 2015, which placed restrictions on Iran's nuclear program in exchange for sanctions relief. While the agreement temporarily reduced tensions, disagreements over the deal later caused significant diplomatic challenges. The nuclear issue continues to remain one of the most sensitive and dangerous aspects of the Israel-Iran rivalry. The Shadow War. In recent years, analysts have increasingly described the conflict between Israel and Iran as a shadow war. This term refers to a series of covert operations, cyber attacks, sabotage missions, and intelligence activities carried out by both sides. Israel has reportedly conducted operations targeting Iranian nuclear facilities, weapons shipments, and military infrastructure. There have also been several mysterious incidents involving explosions at sensitive Iranian sites. Iran has responded through its own covert actions, including attacks against Israeli-linked shipping vessels and cyber operations targeting Israeli infrastructure. Both countries possess sophisticated cyber capabilities and have used them to disrupt each other's systems. This shadow war allows both sides to weaken their opponent without triggering a direct, large-scale military confrontation. Military capabilities and strategic balance. Both Israel and Iran possess significant military capabilities, though they rely on different strengths. Israel has one of the most technologically advanced militaries in the world, supported by a strong defense industry and close cooperation with Western allies. Israel's Air Force, intelligence services, and missile defense systems provide it with significant strategic advantages. The country is widely believed to possess nuclear weapons, although it has never officially confirmed this. Iran, meanwhile, has focused on developing asymmetric warfare capabilities. These include ballistic missile programs, drone technology, naval tactics designed for the Persian Gulf, and networks of allied militias across the region. By combining these capabilities with its regional alliances, Iran seeks to deter potential attacks and maintain strategic influence. Regional and global implications. The rivalry between Israel and Iran extends far beyond the two countries themselves. Many Middle Eastern states closely monitor the conflict and adjust their policies accordingly. Some governments have strengthened their military capabilities in response to Iran's influence, while others have sought diplomatic engagement. Global powers also play an important role in shaping the dynamics of the conflict. The United States has long been a strong supporter of Israel and maintains a significant military presence in the region. Other major powers, including Russia and China, also maintain relationships with various regional actors. Because of these international connections, any major escalation between Israel and Iran could have global consequences. The risk of escalation. Despite years of tension, Israel and Iran have so far avoided direct full-scale war. However, the risk of escalation remains high. A single miscalculation, military strike, or major attack by a proxy group could trigger a chain reaction that rapidly expands into a wider regional conflict. Such a war could involve multiple countries and armed groups across the Middle East, disrupt global energy supplies, and create significant humanitarian challenges. Diplomatic efforts continue to try to prevent such an outcome, but the underlying rivalry between Israel and Iran remains unresolved. Understanding this conflict is essential for anyone seeking to grasp the broader political and strategic landscape of the Middle East. As tensions continue to fluctuate, the relationship between Israel and Iran will likely remain a key factor shaping the region's future. If you liked this video and would like to see more like it, please give it the thumbs up. Leave a comment and click the button to subscribe.